1 and 2 at the Sepang International Circus in Malaysia, where MotoGP have just been testing. It is Division 1 and 2 because to make it fair for everybody, we thought it was a really good idea to combine both Division 1 and 2 because the Division 2 earlier was a complete disaster with people having personal problems, I was having technical problems, you name it. But luckily, we've now got a 14 rider grid. It's like Season 1, Season 2 style VollGazz, where you got the front of the pack and the back of the pack. The skill level is quite big, the speed level is quite big, but that generally can cause quite a lot of chaos, which is what we like to see. So let's go for the grid. We've got Sky Hadif. He was the original pole sitter in Division 2 before it all kicked off. Rolge, we got Nelson, we got Aaron, we've got Ropey, Touch, who makes his return. He's had some problems, but hopefully he can be okay. We've had Race Reese, who couldn't make it earlier, but he has now joined us. We've got Legendary, the soon-to-be Division 2 champion, and sort of the reason why this event is happening in the first place, because it really wasn't fair on him being screwed over potentially if there was a double header next weekend, because he cannot be here. You've got John making his return after a quite good wildcard session at Kimi Ring last weekend. We got Craig, we got VTR, we got Howling, we got Platt, and we got Sire. So it's going to be full of action. Platt's got straight out the box and is looking to take pole position on his first lap, and we'll see what the rest happens behind him. Where's that? There we are. Howling leads the gaggle of riders. Look at all these. I'm hoping everyone's positioning themselves correctly, because I'm sensing there might be some traffic issues at some points. There you can see VTR, always VTR here, we got Ropey and Sky Hadif behind. Whoa! And I've said something was going to happen there. Hadif and Ropey have had a coming together, and Hadif's gone down. Simon Nelson together and trying to two former teammates. Aaron Jacko's going straight on the chicane. I think his controller's disconnected. Or maybe he's lagged. Probably lagged knowing Aaron. Somebody's way off in the gravel trap. That is Ropey. Touch comes around the final corner to stay his first lap. Reese is coming. Platt. Right, so Platt's got through the first sector. Obviously it's all red. Here comes Howland, he's the second man on track. And then you've got Craig, you've got Legendary, you've then got Rolge, and I have no idea who's after, I think it's VTR. And now you're going to have Touch, you're going to have Ropey, you're going to have all these guys filing through the first sector. Very short sector, only 20 odd seconds long, if that. But you know, we'll go on board with Platt, because that's been the only time really we'll probably get a chance to look at him. Unless he pulls out a late lap like he normally does at the end of the session, depending on what the chaos is like. Through the long right-hander, and now into the final chicane of the circuit, running over the curb, really flat, no bumps at all, and into the really long right-hander, which has got so many different variants of lines, which causes absolute chaos as well when it comes to racing, because it's an art of defending whilst attacking, whilst trying to hold your line and taking the optimum racing line. It's an absolute it can cause problems and definitely battles. Through the final corner, this Trevor boy usually it's like a 152, I think. 53.5. Oh, Touch has gone down. Howling will be the second man across the line. He sets a 1:55.2. Craig, the Legendary behind. So this will be also a good test for Legend. Oh, John's gone down at the double right-hander. This will be a good test for the likes of Legendary and the rest of the guys. See how they fare in against the Division 1 guys. Could be a little bit of a teaser for next season, potential who goes where. Obviously, we don't know these kind of things yet. And he crosses the line, and he goes into second place. It's that Touch behind him. He goes into 6th despite a crash here. Where's Nelson? Nelson and Sire. Sire with a red sector 1, the only person that can challenge Platt, really, it seems. Is maybe it's going to be the 2 Malaysians. Here we go, across the line. Sire 7/10 off pole position. Nelson 1.2 seconds off pole position. So these two, great job. We do have Deck here as well. I don't know if he's going to be bothered being on commentary, if he's just going to be like I've had him muted the entire time. I don't know if he's going to like just help me to point out any incidents I should know about, because it will be hard to keep an eye on everybody here. But Aaron Jacka now coming up to the line. He's sorted his problems, wherever he had, going straight on. And up to the line, I'm not sure if he's crashing this lap. He had to avoid John, I know that for sure. 7.2 seconds off the pace. So for sure he has had to avoid John and maybe crashed himself. Race Reese comes into his lap. He's definitely gone down. Aaron Jacka's gone down. Hadif's gone down. VTR's now. He wasn't a fan of this race being an hour later than normal, but I'm sure he will get over it and get on the front row if possible. Sire with another red sector 1, but the sector 2 time's just gone away from him. Oh, VTR hitting the side of the curb. You want to run right over it. Touching the side of it can cause quite a lot of unsettlement with the bike. You've just seen, and VTR taking way too much corner speed through there and way too wide, and Craig has gone down as well. Sire's in VollGazzRacing, Nelson's VollGazzRacing, so I'm guessing the pair of them have followed each other somewhere. As now we go into the final corner. VTR's back at, well, what have I done here? VTR back into the final corner, gassing the Suzuki GSX-RR up to the line. Where does he go onto the grid? Probably in the front row. No, he's on the 3rd row. Flipping heck. We now have John. Where's John? He is with Aaron Jacko into turn 9 on board the Repsol Honda, fresh off the some racing yesterday at the Saxon Ring. Oh, and he's had a lot of wheel spin there out there. That was a bit odd place to have it, and odd whether his TC is very low, but I know John's not the type to run quite low TC, so maybe he's had some sort of glitch. I know that can happen. Through the long right hander, we saw in the wet that John didn't have quite the confidence to lean the bike fully over, but he'd have some good racecraft, defending very well apart from a couple of crashes. Here he comes down the straight into the final corner, hard on the brakes. Ooh, a bit of a twitch, another twitch on the Honda. Honda being unpredictable as ever. And here we go, up to the line. Where's the Repsol Honda going to go? He goes into 10th. Race Reese, where is he? I'm not sure how he's done on this lap. I'm not sure if he's crashed or not, but he's coming up to the line. He goes 12th. Howling Siege now. He is currently 5th. Howling is a bit of an odd one this season. He's shown pace some places, in other places being way off the pace. So it seems like probably just depends on how much he's been able to practice and how good he feels with the Honda, and how well the track suits the Honda, etc, etc. But he's just peeling to the pits despite being approved, so maybe he was running out of fuel. Oh, Craig having a bit of a moment there on the front end, the front not wanting to change direction from left to right. Aaron improving, Reese improving, Rolled improving. Not really seen much of Rolled in this session. Where is he on the Idemitsu Honda, LCR Honda? He is there, coming through the penultimate corner now. As he's already passed the 3rd sector point. Whoa, in the rear locks up and he's gone down. Big moment there. Has Aaron been able to get through on John? I can't see him, so I'd presume so. There he is, just down in the background. Platt improving in sector 1. Craig, where are you? I can't find you. There he is. Taking a very tight line, nice, and that was very nice. Set the M1 up. Try and fire as it's down the straight, even though this is where the Yamaha is really weak. This last and first sector, it's the 2 straights that have really killed the Yamaha with its lack of top speed, and the front end again being very twitchy. So I don't know whether Craig likes the front end being twitchy or not, but doesn't look the most comfortable of bikes at the moment, and he improves his lap time but not in position, as Aaron will come up to the line in a moment now, and he goes into 10th place. Platt is currently in the 3rd sector. Going over the white line, he's got Nelson just behind him, hoping to use him as a marker for the next lap, depending on whether Platt carries on or not after this lap. Probably won't. Probably, or maybe we'll go to staying speed enter the pit. He's going to take a very wide line, cut it back to try and take as much exit speed as possible, plant the gas, as he now comes up to the final corner. Cuts it back for a late apex, sets it back up really early, powers it to the line. It's going to be a 53.3. Whereas now we've got Hadif improving, 4th place currently. Coming up to the final sector now, VTR, where is he? He is currently approaching into turn 9. Sire is also somewhere in the 3rd sector. He's just coming up to turn number 11. As we go back to Hadif, around the final corner, up to the line. Can he jump onto the front row? Yes, he can, by 36 thousandths of a second. You got Ropey, he is currently improving on his time. Currently 13th in the session, 6 seconds off the pace. VTR's gone down at always gone down at the long right hander. So maybe hit the curb on the way in. Ropey completely missing the early apex there. And the way the corner's cambered, it's quite hard to get back, and he's run wide with too much power and he's gone down. And that's his lap over. He might be able to just swing back into the pit lane if he's lucky enough. Sire was improving and for some reason he's gone back into the pit lane. Some very interesting tactics going on there. Nelson not improving in sector 2. He's got Race in front of him, so that's probably his lap over, given the huge variety of pace between the two of these guys. He's going to go up the side. He has been held up by Reese, unfortunately, but he gets through safely. Legendary, where is he? He's currently 8th place, improving in sector 1. Let's see sector 2 time. I imagine that being another improvement, as it is for the current season 2 championship leader and soon to be champion. Always ran wide for the invalidated the lap. No, he hasn't. I think invalidations are quite easy around here in most places. As he now comes to turn number 9, running just alongside the curb. Nice tie apex. But runs a lot of corner speed, a little bit of a wheelie as he tries to change direction from left to right. Touch a ball. He's improving as well. He was very impressive earlier on. 3 hours ago, and he does seem to be improving. So can the American Dream jump onto the 3rd row? He's in a bit of a wayward sort of turn there, it seems like, running a little bit wide and just about avoiding the curb, and now hard on the brakes into the final corner for his penultimate lap. Or maybe, yeah, it will be his penultimate lap if he can get another chance in his next lap. He's got enough fuel and tyres. Here he goes, powers up the Desmond Sadici GP22 Ducati, and he jumps to 9th place. Legendary just behind him. Can he jump onto the 2nd row of the grid? No, he can't, but he heads to the 3rd row. He's in front of VTR, so he's currently beating the vice champion of Division 1. So and he's the top Suzuki, so that's not too bad. Reese is currently improving. He's got Platt behind him, and Platt's gonna he's going to let Platt through, I think. No, he's not. And now John is improving in the 2nd sector, as well as Aaron. I don't know where Aaron is. But John into turn number 9. Always ran quite hot through there, but he's not spun this time, so he'll have had a better exit despite the running wide. Oh, he's taking a little bit too much corner speed there as well. Now into the chicane. Hadif's gone down. That's his session over. He'll finish 3rd place at worst, which is a great result for the Malaysian at home. Aaron Jacker now coming up to the final sector. Race actually coming to the line now, and that says that he's got one more lap, but it's unlikely he's going to improve. Where is Aaron? Aaron's now coming out the final corner. Up to the line. Can he jump onto the 3rd row of the grid? Yes, he can. He goes into 8th place. Here comes John up to the line. Where will he go? He remains 12th, even despite improvements. Legendary Aaron and Rold, their sessions are over. They're finishing 7th, 8th and 11th at this current moment. Craig improving in the first 2 sectors, make that a 3rd. Can he just snatch the top 5 place from Howling? Touch has gone down, that's his session over. So that's 10th place for Touch. All on the brakes, into the final corner for Craig. Platt looks to be on for another pole position setting lap. VTR looking to improve as well, because he does not want to be starting 9th place in the grid. Craig crosses the line and he does just about nick 5th place off Howling by 3 thousandths of a second. 2 Ducatis have exploded in front of him. Platt's invalidated his lap time. Sire's improving in the 2nd sector. He has been held up by Ropey, it seems, on this lap, but despite that he's still improving. Hopefully he won't have been held up too much. For VTR, where's VTR on track? He is coming down the back straight. Down the secondary, start finish straight. And oh, Siren Platt's I think Platt's autopilot and Siren had a coming together, and that will be Sire's lap over. So here comes VTR up to the line. Where's he going to jump to? Up to 4th place. So we just have Reese, John and Sire. Reese improves, but it's not enough for a position, so it's just John and Sire left. Sire boxes, so John will finish out this session, most likely in 12th place. Here he goes up to the line. Yep.
Position is confirmed with the end.
So there we have it. Platt on pole, Siren 2nd, Hadith in 3rd, VTR 4th, Nelson 5th, Craig 6th, Howling 7th, Legendary 8th, Aaron 9th, Touch 10th, Rolled 11th, John 12th, Rupee 13th, and Reese in 14th. So I think it's quite simple for the likes of Sire. To win this race, he's got to get in front of Platt by turn 1. If not, Platt will probably be gone. So it is cloudy conditions, so it is better than clear. So tyre choice is a little bit harder because it then opens up the medium, and the medium probably can survive tyre temp wise. It's just a question of which front tyre you prefer between the medium and the hard, unless you for some reason like the soft, and the soft doesn't wear out too much for you. So we just point out, so the way this will work: the top 3 in Division 1 will be your podium, and Division 2 they'll have their own separate. Even though it'll be one big race, you'll have Division 1 and Division 2 in the same race. So we'll have probably Platt, Sire and Nelson, and then you'll have Hadith, Legendary and Touch, for example. There'll be your top 3 for both races. Hopefully I explained that well enough. If I did predict the podium, call me psychic. So it might cause a bit of a dynamic here, because you might have riders who might decide just to sit behind people, like say Nelson's behind, say Hadith gets 3rd in the race, but Nelson's behind him. You might go, oh, there's no point risking overtaking him because I'll still get a podium anyway. But let's see what happens. 14 riders, the most riders we've had in quite a long time in a race. Let's see what sort of chaos unfolds. Hopefully there'll be no red flags. Right, here we go. Lights are on. And we're off. Heading for the poor start. Siren Platt are the two who have got the best launches as they head into turn number 1. Legendary with the best launch actually. He's jumping into third place. Siren leads the way into turn 1. They all file through. Platt's going to turn it underneath the VR46 Mooney Ducati. And unbelievably, they've managed to get through, but most people have got through. So fair play to them. Only one's gone down. There's contact between quite a number of people in the background there, but it's Platt who leads all 14 riders now into turn number 5. Oh, John forces his way past Aaron Jacko. Oh, and that's Howling who's gone down. As the two Ducatis have touched, and Hadif dropped all the way to 10th place. Unbelievable. And all Legendary, VTR and Craig getting together. Oh, contact between the two, and VTR's gone down with Legendary. Unbelievable. And that puts John into 6th place, Aaron's in 7th. And Touch looking to go up. No, Touch, you can't do that, mate. And he's lost a lot of time. He's actually going to drop behind Roger, I think. Down into the hairpin. And Aaron Jacko's going to sit up the inside of John if possible. No, yes, no, side by side between the two. Oh, and John, no, John's at the curb, but he's gone down. He sent Aaron into the gravel trap, and now Rolls goes up the inside of Touch, but Touch is going to try and get the cut back. They've used a hard rear tyre. Legendary's in the top 5. Craig's in 4th. Nelson, he's in 3rd place. Prix with Proud at the cat. He's inside the podium places on the opening lap. Unbelievable stuff. Platt is out in front with a 9/10 of second lead. That's probably how it's going to go, unless one of them crashes. Craig's in 4th, back where usually he had a bit of a stinker in last round. Don't know whether it's the wet conditions or what, but he struggled to get that top 5 consistency, but he's back inside the top 5. Let's see what he can do. Legendary running quite hot into the final corner. He's got Sky Hadif bearing down on him. All Rolls and Touch make contact into the final corner. Rolls getting the best of the two. Down the home straight they go. The fractured Ducati and the slipstream of the LCR in the Mitsu Honda as they break down into turn 1 for the second time. Rolls goes wide, Touch in the slipstream follows him. Aaron goes even wider. Whoa, and Touch having a big moment as well through turn 2. Rolls not having the greatest of exits or runs through turn 2. As we go down into turn number 5, hard on the brake, 90-degree right-hander. Rolls is going to run a little bit wide. Touch is going to have a little bit of the better exit as they change direction into the long turn 6 and 7. As they'll just flip direction roundabout now as you end the curb there. Onto the gas, maybe a bit of ride out device there. I've seen Touch use that before. Then hard on the brakes into the double right-handers of this is 7 and 8. I've got the corner numbers wrong. Don't mind me. Howling VTO, look out for them. Getting through the field, and Touch gaining a lot and rolled through the braking zone. He hits the back of him. Reese has gone down. Despite the contact, the pair of them managed to stay on and stayed put. Touch trying to go round the outside of Reese, but just not able to find a way through. Not Reese, rolled and getting so much kids. Oh, Aaron into the grass there. Touch's front end just not turning through that section. You can see Rolls just hitting the back a little bit just to aid the front tyre to not wash out. Aaron running really wide for that section, and that's going to allow Howling Siege to move into 9th place, forces the Suzuki out of the way. Will Aaron fight back? These two have, I'm sure they've had an on-track battle before because they're both in the same division at once. And Howling secures the 9th place. I just want to check that Platt is actually on a medium rear. Yep, and so is Sayed. Yep, and what about Nelson? Yep, so is Nelson. Yeah, so we've seen the guys at the front. They're the ones who've used. Craig is the top hard rear runner. So that's something interesting to keep an eye on how this race pans out between the hard and medium running guys. Hadif, let's see. I think he's running a hard rear. Yes, he is. Let's go back with the battle between VollG and Touch. That might soon transform into a 40 battle with Howling and VTR getting added to the mix very soon, as you can see Aaron starting to fall under pressure from his, I guess you could call him teammate for this race. VTR, John's gone down at turn 4. Whoa, Aaron a bit of a big slide. into turn 7 and now into turn 8. Sit the bike up, running over the curb. The Suzuki's handled it okay. Now down the straight into the hard braking. So Vito's going to look up the inside. Sire's gone down. Sire's gone down. He's gone down at turn 11, and that's going to promote Craig and Legendary into the top 5, and that's going to promote Hadif just outside the top 5. Can he attack? Touchable's gone down. Touch has gone down. Legendary's gone down as well. Don't know how that's happened. But he seems to have by himself, and somebody else has gone down. I think that Rolled has gone down. It's absolute mayhem. And Legendary and VTR side by side. They meet each other after meeting in on lap 1, and that's Aaron. Aaron is run really wide. It's all kicking off now. Hard on the brakes into the final corner. We now have a three-way scrap for 3rd place between Craig, Sire, and Hadif. Real shame, really. It was actually, no, it's good because got a podium battle, but we had some things brewing up at the between like Touch and Rolled and all that kind of stuff. But I guess they still can because it's back to square one for the pair and both crashing, and the gaps basically remain the same between the two Americans. And Legendary now looking to pass his teammate Aaron Jacko. Medium rear versus hard rear. Aaron just seems to be running quite hot through all the corners. Bit of a mistake from Legendary. We don't usually see that kind of stuff, but good on him for running inside the top 4 in his Division 1. I think it's his Division 1 debut. Doing a great job hanging in there with the likes of Craig and well, it was just Craig, wasn't it? Whoa, Aaron over the curb. Oh, Hadif's gone down. At the double right. Oh, Craig's good. Oh, that's like going over the double curb. The two Suzuki's fly past. So this is actually the battle for the lead of the Division 2 race between these three. Aaron Jacko leads. Whoa, and Aaron's had a touch from the back of Legendary, and he's gone down. I don't know if that was enough to cause him to crash, or he crashed by himself after. Afterwards, then Hadif and Legendary make contact. Craig and Syra making contact to go through the penultimate corner side. He's going to go up the inside of the Yamaha. He's going to turn it underneath, but Craig's going to use the torque of the M1 to try and pass him, but it's not possible. As we go back to the battle, Legendary's run over the curb, and he's gone down. Hadif moves through. Rolled and Touchable now moving on to the podium places, and now Aaron Jacko's left the session. That isn't really surprising. Craig has forced his way back through on Sire, but Sire retakes the place, and VTR and Howling down battling for the top 5 places. Down the home straight they go. Honda versus Suzuki. Should be a Honda who wins that. Keep an eye on Sire. Sire looks to have got the better of Craig at this current moment in time. And holding the brakes between VTR and Howling. Howling's very strong on the brakes. Now Honda's very strong on the brakes, as we know. But VTR, he's the soon-to-be vice champion, if not already the vice champion of this division. As they fail through the long turn 3. VTR just waiting for his moment to pounce hard on the brakes, turning it in. Look at him going round the outside of the Dutchman. We've seen the Dutchman being absolutely smoked here. Go back to division to season 3 for a certain Patronus went underneath a certain LCR Honda. So keep an eye out for that kind of move. We might see this in the next 6 laps. And here we go down into turn 9. VTL's got to attack. He was in range, but he's just not strong enough or close enough on the brakes. But can he turn it on? Can he turn the Suzuki underneath the Honda? No, he's going to have to go round the outside, and he's done it. He's through. Nicely done there by VTR, who's inside the top 5. He's going to change it. Oh, John's gone down again. Oh, but VTR's run really wide through the left-hander, but Howling's had a bit of a stinker on the change of direction. But can Howling? Oh, he's had a moment on the front end. He's had to set up the bike, and that might be it for the battle for 6th place. Hadif out in the lead of Division 2 race, and currently 7th place. Rolled into Touch, or still separated by just under a second. This kind of race could give Rolled a chance to win his first race. He's had so many podiums this season. Can he finally get one? As front end moving quite a lot. Touch He's been used to the Yamaha since his return to the game, and he's been thrust into the Ducati, so you can't really get a more different bike, apart from maybe a Honda or a KTM. So, you know, when you're used to an inline four and then you go to a V4, it's a bit of a culture shock, as we've seen with the likes of Rins and Mir in the tests. But we'll see how these guys get on. Howling, I've missed it. Has managed to get back through on VTR. I don't know if VTR made a mistake. I assume that's what happened, because VTR had a similar gap over similar gap over Howling. But whoa, and Howling's a little bit of a wheelie through the long left-hander, and now into turn number 6. Flat currently leading by 9.5 seconds. Race has gone down. VTR's gone down. VTR's gone down, and the double right-hander. No way, Hadif's gone down as well. What's happened to Roll? Roll just gone down. That's going to now promote Touch into the leader Division 2 race. Unbelievable. Legendary's just about. Oh my god, Hadif! He's returned onto the circuit. It's like GP20 all over again. He's hit that curb and gone absolutely flying. Now Craig's gone down. What's going on? Why are there so many? Oh, Howling's going to have to try and avoid that. Back has done so, and BTL's got through on Touch. Touch is going to fire it back up the inside of the Suzuki, but he's just not quite able to. He's changed direction. So, as we approach 4 laps to go, Touchball is in a position to win the Division 2 race. Legendary, he's not too far behind from winning the race in which he'll win the championship. 9-10 separate the 2 men. Big mistakes from a lot of these guys. I mean, I'm not sure who's actually going to be able to finish the race. But oh, Touch is running hot into the final corner. Maybe getting caught up in the slipstream of VTR. With that running wide, it's going to get a better exit, but you can see Legendary's gained quite a lot. Quite about 0.2 a second on the American. You can see Rolls just behind, so I'm guessing Rolls must have gone down whilst other chaos was going on in front. Touch runs hot a little bit again into turn 1. Flats out in front by 10.8 seconds. Nelson's in second place. Nelson will be praying to all the gods that have ever been believed in, that he can hold on to the second place. I can't remember the last time Finley or any Prima Pro Ducati has finished on the podium. Probably not since the second or third race of the season. They've had that much bad luck. It's ridiculous. But now, keep an eye on Legend. This is the battle that's starting to brew up. Legendary in Touch. Touch was meant to ride a Suzuki, but then they figured out that he couldn't ride a Suzuki, so they put him on the Ducati. But here we go. Legendary's gaining. He's gaining. Can he ever go up the inside into turn 9? He's not quite in range to pull him. Or is he? He's going to go up the inside, and he's through. Legendary takes the lead of the Division 2 race. If Touch could just hold on through this sector, that front, I think he's having a few problems with the front end. If he can just about hold on, I don't think he can anymore. Yeah, you can tell he's just a little bit hesitant to move because he was crashing quite a lot through qualifying. So maybe he's just not. Yeah, you can tell he's just not got the feeling of the front end as he normally would. Flat out in front. 11, 12, going to be 12 seconds. Size closing in on Nelson. Oh, John's gone down again. Whoa, and Touch coming across the Legendary there, but he's not in range to make an overtake, and John's gone down again. Falling behind Rupee. So the gaps are all starting to spread out now. It's just these two that are within a second of each other. Sire 1.3 seconds behind Nelson, so that might be a last lap battle brewing up there. You've just got to keep an eye on that gap. Legendary runs wide through turn 1. Touch starting to close the gap back down. He's just not comfortable there into turn 2. If you can just gain some confidence in that front end for these final 3 laps, he might be able to pull some kind of attack on the Frenchman. We'll have to wait and see. Oh, the break into turn number 4 through the 90-degree right-hander. Up the hill now, a little bit of a wheelie. If you change direction through, you go downhill, a little bit of camber as you go through turns 5 and 6. And Nelson is now, I don't want to do it, Nelson, but The Jaws music will soon is now playing for you. Sire is approaching at a rapid rate of knots. Roll just gone down, so that is his podium charge potentially over, unless Sadif makes another mistake, which isn't out of the question. Down the back straight they go for these two. Ducati versus Ducati, GP21 versus GP22, Prima Pramac versus VR46. Mooney as Sire gets really close to the back of Nelson. I don't know what's happened to Nelson here. Whether it's size or size, pace is just that much better. But Sire is starting to get really close now to Nelson. I think Reese is going to be close to getting lapped. If he can stay on, I think he'll just about survive not being lapped. Everyone else will be fine for that. So Nelson, 6/10 of a second. I know his heart's racing. Oh, Reese is gonna. I know his heart will be racing because I know he can hear me. I know he can hear me. He's probably telling me to shut up because he's making a mistake there. He's probably got a smile on his face listening to me. But Sire, he's a Picante has joined the session. No idea who that is. But can Sire find a way through on Nelson? Legendary's pulled out a 1.8 second lead over Touch, so as long as he doesn't make any mistakes in these final 1.5 laps, he will be the Division 2 race winner. I'm sure Touch, given the circumstances, he will be happy to finish second place in his return. Through the long right-hander, Platt is rounding out the final corner to start the final lap of this race. Here comes Sire, he's in the slipstream. He will be gaining, All the guys will be saying somewhat the same. Hard on the brakes. Sire's a little bit later, but he's also stronger. Oh, the front end closed there, but he just about kept it up. To go down the straight now to start their final laps. Look at Sire gaining. Is he going to have a... He's not close enough, he's not in range to overtake, but he's going to have to hope that Nelson runs really wide through turn 1, which he has. Sire's going to go up the inside, but Nelson just cuts him off. We now go through turn 2. Swift change direction now. In through turn, really long turn 3. The right hand side of the tyre absolutely dies through this corner. Now as we approach turn number 4, you move a little bit left. Nelson all over the curb. He's taking so much risk to try and stay ahead of Sire, and he's ran wide as well. It's going really defensive. He's not allowing what happened to him all 7 seasons ago. No, it's not 5 seasons. I'm sorry, I'm jumping over the curb. 5 seasons ago. And VTR is getting really close to Craig. He wants to end. He wants to end Craig's run of top 5s in the dry conditions. Oh, no way! Legendary's gone down. Legendary's gone down, and that promotes Touch into the lead of the Division 2 race. Nelson's holding on for absolute dear life. Change of direction. Nelson's going to run more corner speed. Reese has gone down again. Can Sire find a way through? Hopefully these guys can get up to the penultimate corner before Platt crosses the line. Here we go, through the chicane. There's someone in the back, that's Reese in the back, get out of the way. Go left, go right. Can Sire turn it underneath the Prima Pramac Ducati? Yes, he's going for it. They make contact and Sire's through. Sire's gone through. Could be literally Platt's going to win the race. Congratulations to him. And here we go, side by side between the two. Contact between the two. Into the final corner. They've both run extremely hot. And it's going to be Sire who clinches second place from Nelson. Howling is going to finish 4th place, a very strong finish for him. Well done to Howling, he's finished 4th. His best finish in a long time. Craig keeps his top 5 streak going in the dry. It will be VTR after crashing in 5th. Touchable is the winner of the Division 2 race. Unbelievable stuff. And there was contact between Ropey and John there right at the end. So we will go. So there we go. Flat wins the race. Sire through second. Nelson was third. I called that. I called that top three in exact order. Howling fourth. Craig fifth. VTR in sixth. And that is your Division 1 lot. That's wrong. So then in terms of Division 2, we had Touch in first, Legendary second, Hadith in third, Rolled in fourth, Ropey or John in fifth, depending on who I saw the two hit markers light up, and then you got Reese finishing in 7th place. So I don't quite know who's in here, but we'll go with the Division 2 lot first. So that is Touch, Legendary and Hadith. Excuse me. Right, so we will first go with our third place finisher, which is Hadith. So unmute, mute. Right, Hadith, are you here? I assume he's just sorting out his, because he said he's on mobile, so I'm assuming he is just sorting out his mic. Yeah, there we go, his mic's active. Hello? There we go. So, Hadith, it is very, very early in the morning for you, and so obviously you're not in the in the best of condition, but third place, you must be happy. Yeah, congratulations, and you can now go to sleep or whatever your plans are. Oh no, so congratulations. So we move on to our new Division 2 champion of Legendary. It wasn't the most perfect of races. But at one stage you were in 4th place in the actual race, but an unfortunate mistake on the last lap meant you finished 2nd. But how did you feel about this race, and how do you feel about winning the championship?
Well, I'm happy to win this championship finally. It's too bad Hidstick wasn't there. I would have preferred to fight a bit with him, but it's like this. I had a difficult race, a few mistakes. I had a good pace. I think I could have beaten up with the Division 1, but I made a few mistakes, and I think I crashed like 3 times. So you cannot compete with these people when you crash. But yeah, good job to Touch. Did not make the mistakes and finish first. Good job to RollG for 3rd place, and too bad for Hadith, who could have easily fight for a podium here. Thank you guys for organization. Thank you. Happy to win this season 8.
Yep, so congratulations. And we now move on to the winner. Touch, it is you've not been here for a few rounds. You make your return, and despite some problems, you managed to win, so you must be quite happy with this result. I think you just saw it now, Smack. And he's gone, so I'm assuming he's had some problems. We'll just no entry, okay. Right, we will move on to Division 1. Right, this is where things get complicated. Right, Nelson. So Nelson, I'm pretty sure you're pinching yourself at this moment, because there wasn't one moment of bad luck for you at all. You ran inside the top 3 for the entire race, and you nearly had second place there, but you just missed out to Sire. But you must be happy with third place after all the bad luck you, Finley, and the whole Prima Pramac team have had this season.
No, yeah, most definitely. I think Prima Pramac this season has been one of the most unluckiest teams on the grid. Despite being second in the championship with the team, yeah, the results aren't really showing and backing that up, and especially our potential. Even Finley's potential, his pace was really close to mine, and even faster at some tracks. So he really made his progress this season, but unfortunately we couldn't make it work in most of the rounds. Which is, yeah, unfortunate, of course, losing out on the chance on the championship as well. But yeah, despite that, I'm really happy to be back on the podium on this race, for sure, because it's Sepang, normally not a track that I'm competitive on. I think back in season 3 I had like one of the most horrific rounds here, and to come back and actually with 30 minutes of practice, and then be on the podium and running in P2 for the most of the race, having a little battle with Sai as well. Yeah, it's a good feeling, and this is exactly what I've been aiming for to do next season, and on a more consistent base. I want to congratulate Platt and all the others, even the Division 2 riders, for their effort and a good race, and I hope to continue it on for the last round of this season.
Yeah, congratulations. Hopefully you can pull out something in the final round. So we move on to the man that's his second half of the season's probably been the strongest bar Plati is Sire. Another second place. Unfortunately one mistake, but to bring it back on the last lap you must be happy.
I am very happy, to be honest, to catching up and get the second position. My engineer made a mistake, so I asked him to put on bike 2. He put on bike 1, so I didn't get the result as I wanted. During practice, I managed to do 54.12, so I can get 54 lows. Could have been a good battle with Platt, but as again, Platt is the man to beat every race. Since I tried, especially at the home track, but it didn't manage to happen. I'll take home the second position, and excited for Indianapolis.
Yep,
and congrats to Menelson. I had a good battle with him. I enjoyed it. Last lap 10-14, I had to try. Thank God nothing happened, and congrats to both of them. That's all.
Yeah, so congratulations. We now move on to the final person, which is Platt. it's your 11th of 11 wins. Pretty perfect. I don't think I saw any. I mean, from the few amount of seconds I had from checking you didn't really seem to make any sort of mistake, and seems like a perfect race for you.
Yeah, I actually think that might have been my first race where I haven't crashed or had a warning. So, yeah, I'm happy. I guess all I can really say is it was an unfortunate incident where I crashed, I think, at turn 11 or 12. Maybe we could have had a fight if I made a couple mistakes. In the end, I'm really happy though. Another victory. And hopefully next week I'll make it 12 wins out of 12 and my 21st win in VollGazz. One more thing as well, I'm actually really happy because I was 4 seconds faster in this race and I was in Rising Stars, so that's a little plus.
Yeah,
and congratulations to Legendary on the Division 2 Championship. I know he's put together a really good season, lots of podiums, and congrats to Sire and Nelson on the podium.
Yep, so well done. So that's been it for round number 11. We got one more round to go at Indianapolis next week, and we'll see you guys then. Hopefully it's not like this, and we'll be there at 6 as normal. Goodbye.